What's up YouTube, it's Flinter Jamaican here, 33 here, and today I am going to bring you a little, well not a little, this is almost going to be like a rant on the problems that I see with Infinite Warfare. So, as pretty much everyone knows, Infinite Warfare is not a very good game. And especially when it comes to the competitive side of things, there's a lot of criticism, but today I'm just going to talk about the overall game. So, the videos in the background that you'll be seeing are two of the first 4 games that I had on PS4 after I got my PS4. So, the biggest problem with Infinite Warfare, in my opinion, is the simple fact that there is weapon variance in the supply drops. So, for those of you that haven't played the other games that have had weapon variance, which would be Advanced Warfare, weapon variants are a thing that no one really likes in the community. It enhances certain abilities on the guns, gives it more damage, more accuracy, and overall it just makes the game kind of unbalanced because not everyone can get these super high tier variants that are like the best ones in the game. Also, another thing that I think is a problem is supply drops in general. I don't mind supply drops like how it was in Black Ops 3, where in Black Ops 3 supply drops all you got was character customization and weapon skin and camos really. I don't like the fact that like the bonus weapons and added weapons into the game can only be obtained via supply drop. See, in Call of Duty Ghosts, I think they did it perfect, where the added guns were DLC. If you had the DLC, you had the Season Pass, you got the guns. Infinite Warfare, they did do that with the RVN, but I think that they just shouldn't have any variants or anything like that. If there's a certain like added weapon variant, you should be able to get it for having the Season Pass or having the DLC, rather than having to open up supply drops to get it, and supply drops should be reserved specifically for character customization and camos for guns. Next, probably the second biggest thing that I see wrong with Infinite Warfare is weapon balancing. So, this game has had quite a lot of patches come out for it already, even though the game hasn't been out for extremely long. But all of these patches haven't really done anything to balance the weapons. K-Bar is still the most dominant gun that you see. NV4 is probably the best overall gun in my opinion. Overall, the assault rifles are just way too overpowered, because now in this latest patch they even buffed the Vulcan Type 2. Even though the Vulc had been debuffed a little while ago, they buffed it again, and now they made the Type 2 really good as well. With all this weapon balancing and buffing and nerfing that they've done, they haven't really done much with the SMGs. In the more recent patches, it's become a little bit more balanced to where the ERAD is pretty good, but that's the only SMG that is really consistently usable, and even in that sense I don't think it's the most consistent that it can be. So I think that they need to balance the weapons more so that the SMGs are more close to the level of the ARs. I don't mean make it so that you can cross-map people with SMGs, or up the damage of it. I just mean make it so that they're more evenly matched so that you can use SMGs rather than only using an assault rifle no matter the map. Next, I think the abilities in this game are more overpowered than they were in Black Ops 3. So Black Ops 3 introduced the Specialist to us. It was met with mixed reactions. Overall, I think that the abilities and weapons in Black Ops 3 were good and they were balanced. The kinetic armor was good, like was really good, but you could realistically you could still like melt people through it, so it was okay. Headshots didn't affect the kinetic at all, so that was good. The camo made a sound, so you weren't completely invisible like you are in this game. You're basically 100% invisible in Infinite Warfare when you use camo. And the weapons in Black Ops 3, the weapon abilities were good because it didn't take forever to get them, and they were all balanced. In this game, it takes a long time to get your weapon abilities, while competitive, in a competitive match speaking. In public match it's not as bad, but there's really one weapon that's really good, kind of two. The claw is extremely good because the bullets ricochet and it absolutely melts, and the range on it is ridiculous, and the equalizer is also good, but I wouldn't put it on the same level as the claw. Also, reactive armor. Sometimes you can get like 2-shot when you have reactive armor. Sometimes it takes like half a clip to kill someone. Camo, you're basically invisible. Rewind is really good in this. FTL jump is okay. Overdrive is pretty good. I just overall think that the abilities in this game are way too overpowered compared to the Black Ops 3 abilities. Another really big one that I see is the hit registration. So there, in public match, you're mostly going to see people running Synaptic, otherwise known in the competitive community as the Skinny Bot, because it has really skinny hitboxes. It's really hard to hit, and even if you're shooting the person, it doesn't necessarily actually register that you're hitting them. It's not only with the Synaptic or the Skinny Bot that this happens, though. There is footage from Optic, Karma, and Crimsix before scrims one day they were playing, and Karma went up point blank to Crim and was able to shoot through like almost all of Crim's arm without getting a single hit marker, just showing how bad the hit registration really is in this game and how bad the hitboxes are. Another one that, I mean, it's probably the biggest thing that other people see is it has advanced movement. Now, Advanced Warfare brought us advanced movement, and people were not a fan of that, like, throughout the course of the game. At first, everyone was like, oh yeah, advanced movements, double jumps, yeah, cool. But then, towards the end of the game, they realized the movement was not extremely good. It was super fast and jerky. You could abuse the movement way more than you should be able to. And then Black Ops 3 comes along, and people are like, okay, it's a Black Ops game, it won't have advanced movement, it'll be good. It still has advanced movement, but it's not as bad as Advanced Warfare. Granted, I still think the advanced movement in Black Ops 3 was not the best that it could be, and I am not really a fan of advanced movement, but at least Black Ops 3 made it better. Now, of the 3 games with advanced movement, Infinite Warfare, in my opinion, has the best advanced movement. It's the most smooth. You can't abuse it as much as you can in Black Ops 3, where you can get super high up in the air, and it's not super jerky like it was in Advanced Warfare. But I still believe that Call of Duty should not be advanced movement, and it should go back to boots on the ground, which hopefully the confirmed stuff for, like the stuff for the next game, actually is confirmed that it will stay boots. Another thing that, it's a smaller thing, but another thing that I see is kind of bad with this game and is a problem is for the first time in a long time, we've seen lethals and tacticals be very overpowered. The last time I remember lethals and tacticals being this overpowered would probably be Black Ops 2, where the C4 was really overpowered. Ghosts, it wasn't really overpowered. Advanced Warfare, no one really used them. Black Ops 3, they weren't the greatest. Like, trip mines were kind of annoying, but they weren't super overpowered. In this game, pretty much all of the lethals are overpowered, as well as the fact that there's the blackout grenade as a tactical, which completely makes your screen black, which is kind of bullshit. So, lethal. Flechette grenade breaks off into 3 grenades, pretty overpowered. Granted, if someone's running blast shield, it won't kill them unless you directly hit them with the grenade. The cluster grenade blows up into like 3 or 4 explosions. Another thing, if you have blast shield, it won't kill you, but that's what blast shield is made for. But it'll almost take away all of your health, even with blast shield. The biggest, or the most overpowered lethal, I think, in this is the trip mine. Now, trip mine in Black Ops 3, you could avoid it, you could go prone. Bouncing Betties in other games, you could go prone and avoid it by tripping it. Or you had claymores where you could see the lines. This, you can see the laser, the line to trip it, but then there's the problem that once it gets tripped, you can't avoid it. If you just get close to it, you're automatically dead. You can't avoid the trip mine in this game at all, and I think that's a big problem. Now, in my opinion, this game is the worst Call of Duty game that has come out. A lot of people say Ghosts is the worst game that came out, but in my opinion, Ghosts was a good game when you look back at it. The only reason it was bad at the time was because it followed one of, if not the best game of Call of Duty that has been made in Black Ops 2. Ghosts, when you look back at it, and if you go back and play it now, is a good game, even though it's really dominated by 2 to 3 guns. Black Ops 3, you look back at it, or Advanced Warfare, you look back, and everyone's like, oh, Advanced Warfare is the worst game ever made, the Advanced Warfare fucked up the game, supply drops, weapon variants, oh, they screwed over the game. If you look back at it now, I would say that Advanced Warfare is a better game than Infinite Warfare because there's not as much stuff that is glitchy, buggy, overpowered as it is in this game. Plus, on the competitive side, Advanced Warfare was a pretty good competitive game. All the maps were really good and everything. And in Infinite Warfare, competitive still isn't extremely great. The maps are decent, but I don't think competitive is at the level that it should be at for how much money. Black Ops 3, okay game. It's not the greatest, but it was definitely better than Advanced Warfare and Infinite Warfare. If you go back and play, it's still extremely playable. Out of the last 4 Call of Duties, that would be my second favorite. I personally like Ghosts better than Black Ops 3, but that's just because of the non-advanced movement. But with all of the problems that I outlined in this, as well as many more that I didn't talk about, I think that there's no question that Infinite Warfare will go down as one of, if not the worst Call of Duty ever made.
This can't happen again.